Buongiorno! Welcome to today's video. Last time I did an Italian crochet video, you saw me choose the pattern from this book, Amigurumi, Uno Sol al Musero in Palmo de Mano. And I chose the little fishy. So we're going to start the little fishy today. As you can see, there is a little stand to the fishy. But I'm not going to do the little stand because I think the stand looks stupid. I just like the fish. So we're just going to focus on the fish. It's not that I can't do it. It's that I think it looks stupid. So we're not going to do it. I want my fishy to swim free. I don't want it to be stuffed on a stand like that. Now, I think the first thing I'm going to have to do is get all the abbreviations set up. So that way, when I look at the pattern, I have a better understanding of what the abbreviations stand for. So I got smart. I wrote the different abbreviations down on a sheet of paper. So that way I can have it to reference and I can figure out what they actually are. But I figured I should probably do the actual translating bit on camera because that's kind of the whole point of this thing. So, is aumentar, that's increase. Well, that is a decrease. Then cat is catenella. I'm getting letters confused in my head again. Okay, catenella, and catenella looks like it's a chain. So I'm going to write chain. Maglia bessimima looks like a stitch I've never done before in my life. I'm just going to write check back. I know what that will mean. If I'm reading the picture correctly, it looks like a combination between a slip stitch and a half double crochet. It's not that it isn't a clear picture. I mean, this is what I'm looking at. It's just I've never seen that before in my life. Also, I lost my paper that I put over the picture that prevents me from staring at my face. So if I'm not making eye contact as much this video as I usually do, that's why I forgot that I'm supposed to be looking at the camera and not my face. Because obviously my face is more attractive than the camera. I mean, yeah. Also, I'm a bit tired right now. I shouldn't be tired because I'm supposed to be on a nocturnal schedule and it's after midnight. But for some reason, I'm tired despite ingesting caffeine today. Quite a bit of caffeine, which is very unusual for me. But it doesn't seem to have done anything. Maglia bassa. I have the abbreviation for this. That looks like a single crochet. Ow, why is my back like itching all of a sudden? It hasn't done that all day today. And then it does just now. And then mezza maglia alta looks like a half double crochet. What abbreviation is that for? Oh my gosh. Okay. I could also... That's half double. Maglia alta is double. Then Circio Magical, which is the magic circle. But there's no abbreviation for that. Oh yeah, that's together. It shows how to do It shows how to change color, which is different than how I change color. Ooh! Oh wait, no it isn't. That is precisely how I change color. This book has some abbreviations in it that they do not explain. I love that. Lovely for me. Okay. But I got the important stuff down. The things that I thought were going to be the case were not actually the case. So I have my lovely orange, also arancione, and bianco, which is my white. And ask for the azzurro, which is the blue, but we're not doing that part because I know the blue's that. And I need a hook. I'm just going to take a hook that I have nearby and hope that it works, or maybe that hook would be better. Yeah. I mean, the size difference is negligible at this case. Wait. These just have US sizes on them. Oh. Looks like that is too big. Okay. To Olgi and Plastica Nera. Oh, I need safety eyes. I should probably go get safety eyes at some point. They're downstairs right now. I keep all my safety eyes downstairs, but I am upstairs in my studio. But I don't have to get it yet. Oh, it's asking for a stick that's 3 centimeters tall. I don't need the stick because I'm not making the stand. Of course, this means this fish might be very small, but it's funny, like the both like the introductory cap on my video and like the end cap, it shows the same like fish. It's a different pattern fish than the fish I'm going to be working on here, but that was also part of actually a mobile pattern. Like you make it like the mobile that you make for babies that it hangs down. But I've never, while I've made like hundreds of those fish, I've never actually turned any of them into a mobile. I actually have a bunch of them. Oh, that's stuff I need to clean up. I have a bunch of them right here from my failed Etsy experiment. And the reason why they are all in a plastic bag is because they're filled with catnip. The catnip is probably expired at this point, because catnip expires after like 2 years, and it has been more than 2 years. I forget when I did that. It still smells amazing though. And I don't have any cats. So I don't know who to give it to. Anyway, let's actually get started. Let's do the fish, yeah. So corporal, that's the body, and hero is rounds, yeah. It wants me to stuff as I go. That's probably not going to happen. I'm probably going to wait till the last minute, then stuff. Okay. So it wants me to do a magic circle of 6 stitches. That is like the most common number for like magic circles, yeah. 6 stitches. If they don't do 6 stitches, they'll do 10 or 4. Those are like the 3 most popular numbers for that. Anyway, I can do a magic circle. I'm good at magic circles. And we know to do this in the spiral method, because even though they are stripes on this fish, because the book said it earlier in the not the introduction. I didn't read the introduction in the important generalized instructions. I forgot to count. I'm at 4, yeah. Yeah, I'm currently at 4. I need to do 2 more. Okay. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I pull that tight. That's the beauty of the magic ring. I should put a stitch marker here. I have a pink one, but I don't feel like using a pink one. I was using a pink one for the Mr. Rogers stuff. But I don't think that's going to be enough of a contrast. I want my blue one. I could also do the white one, but no, I want it to stand out. There we go. You have our clicky click. And now we're on Hero Dos. Is Dos Spanish or Italian? This is what's going to be bothering me the entire time, unless I actually see the word written down. Anything that I just like bum out of my mouth. There's probably a better way I could have said that. I'm going to be wondering if it's Spanish or Italian. Anyway, the next row, it wants me to increase in every stitch. So it goes from 6 to 12. I actually had like a blast to the past earlier today. Because do you ever just like sit and like start thinking and suddenly you're like given a full memory from the past that you'd forgotten that you had? So I want to say around the age of 10, I wanted to make a carnival game. I wanted to create like a fishing carnival game, and I was obsessed with having the fish swim. I didn't want them to sink to the bottom. I didn't want them to float all the way to the top either. I wanted them to hover halfway in the water like actual fish. All right, third row, it wants me to do one stitch. Oh yeah, single crochet. Like maglia bassa, and one increase 6 times, so it gets to 18. So it's kind of like bobbing for apples, but you're fishing in a bowl and it's easier to get the fish because they're in a barrel. But, so at first I tried to make the fish out of clay. And that didn't work. Even if you glue foam to the little fishies out of clay, it still sinks to the bottom because the clay is heavier than the foam is light. Which, I mean, I used polymer clay. I baked the clay. I should have known better. And I had made hooks out of like a complete pencil and a paper clip and some thread and tape. Like I taped the top of it to the pencil part, to the eraser part of the pencil. And then I like tied it to the paper clip, and I was trying to use, I think it was a paper clip and not an earring hook. I also had lots of earring hooks at that time. Yeah. But I realized that didn't work. And so then I attempted to make a bunch of them. So the next 2 rows, it just wants me to do 1 stitch in every stitch. It's typical. Okay. So then I attempted to make them out of pony beads, wire, and foam. So they all floated to the top. They were all much lighter. They actually floated, but they were all on the very top. As for the actual, like, trying to hook them, I mean, it was difficult. It was possible, but it was difficult. But it wasn't till, like, several years later, like, and a shockingly embarrassing amount of time later that I realized if I actually wanted the fish to be like halfway through, I should have just made the fish heavier, and then I should have heavily salted the water so that the fish would eventually rise up and like live halfway through. Although I don't know, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if that would have worked or not. Anyway, the reason why I stopped working on this was one day I decided to just use a straw to blow bubbles in the thing. Like, for some reason, here I am, just some like 10-year-old just sitting blowing bubbles in a plastic tub trying to get the fish to rise. Or it just might have been for fun, I don't know. But suddenly I like coughed and something came out and it was like, what is that? And that was my introduction to tonsil rocks. Which, I hate tonsil rocks. They are terrible. The tongue scraper is one of the best inventions known to man because they severely decrease the amount of tonsil rocks. That took me years to find out. But yeah, that was my little adventure with trying to create like a fishing game. Now, I've never actually gone legitimate fishing. Like, I've never actually sat on a body of water and tried to catch a live fish. To be honest, I don't think I'd enjoy it that much. Partially because, I mean, you're trying to hook the fish and you're injuring the fish. Maybe they don't get injured, but it's like someone's putting a hook in your home and then they catch it on you and then yank you out of your home. But also, I would get bored. I'm not sure I would have the patience to sit quietly and hope for fishy to come. All right, so now, I actually have to concentrate for this one. Okay. So it wants me to do 3 single crochets and then increase one 2 times. So it's like 2 volte. Then 2 stitches, then 1 increase 3. So it's kind of symmetrical. These things often tend to be symmetrical. Oh, I'm making la testa. I'm making the head. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that was glaringly obvious to me. That's the obvious, because it was the obvious starting point. 1, 2, 3. Then I increase. Then I 1, 2, 3. Wait. Con le pense oppure con un studio cadente comunica. Wait. Okay, it's mentioning a tool, but it doesn't say anything about putting in the safety eyes, and honestly, I feel like this would be the moment to put on the safety eyes if you're actually going to put them in properly. And the fact that I'm not seeing it mentioned here. Oh, wait. Yeah, the fact that I'm not seeing it mentioned here. It's either got to be mentioned later. It means that she doesn't put them in properly. By properly, I mean like you do the corresponding part on the back so that way the eye doesn't come out, because otherwise anyone can just pull the eye out and it's not actually safe. The whole reason why they're called safety eyes is because babies can't pull it out and choke on it. I lost count of where I was supposed to be with this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3. I do the increasey. Yeah. And then I do 2 stitches. I do the same thing in reverse. The increasey. Then 1, 2, 3, and then increasey. I'm not going to completely do the last stitch because I see with the next row, like it says 1 stitch in every stitch. And then it follows with the word sottostante. I don't know what that means, but it looks like a fun word. It's sottostante. Such a fun word. But the next row says proseguite con el bianco, which means continue with the white. It means I'm going to add in the white yarn now before I even finish the row, so that way it looks nice. It got a weird pilling effect on that yarn. Okay, boom, put that. That's not where I meant it to go, but okay. I forgot to do the clicky click. There we go. I forgot to do the clicky click twice. I was not expecting to bring this hot mess energy here today, but that's where we're at. Yeah, just more of this. One of my favorite memories with fish happened when I was in Cancun. So I want to say on the day before we left, Mom decided to use some money, like, to pay extra in order to go on some excursions. So we went on like a day trip where we stopped at 3 different spots. So the first we stopped at 4 different spots because we stopped for a meal afterwards. But the first part, we stopped to see the Incan pyramids. Or were they Mayan? I think they were Incan. It was in the Yucatan, so. And then the second one was what? And that was nice. There were a bunch of iguanas. The iguanas were cute. All right, this wants me to, do the same thing as before, but instead I do 4 stitches instead of 3, yeah. Okay. Have to pay real attention real quick. But the second one was we went to like this lake, I think it was, and we got to swim with fish. I mean, after a lifetime of watching fish swim in tanks, actually being in the body of water, swimming with the fish, amazing. Especially very colorful fish, too. The only downside of that was I was severely sunburnt from earlier that week. And we had to completely wash off any sunscreen and other things in order to make sure that we didn't harm the fish. So I was still exposing my burnt skin to still more sun, but considering I was going to swim with fishes, it was so worth it. But yeah, just being in that area swimming with fish, that was amazing. And then we went to a cenote afterwards, which is like an underground river. And we got to swim in that. Which the water was really cold. The water actually really helped my sunburn that day. And then the last place we went was a place like this outdoor area where we ate lunch. This point, it looks like with the way this pattern is going, it's saving the color changes for rows where you just do, yeah, with the way that this pattern's looking, it looks like the stripes are 3 stitches wide. And then the middle, or not 3 stitches, 3 rows wide. And then the middle row is the row where you do the increases. And then the end rows, you just add the, you just do like the plain rows, and then the middle, like, that's also the ends, the plain rows, that's where you do the color change. That makes a lot of sense. I'm guessing where I'm going to get the stripe wonkiness is probably going to be the bottom of the fish. Because the next row, it wants me to switch. There you go. I'm on 10, yeah, and now I'm on row on, oh. We're doing the plural. Hiri instead of Euro. I think it looks like we're done increasing. Anyway, I think I'm going to take a moment to fast forward through all of these steps, because as I'm looking at this, they all look like I'm just switching the rows, and then at some point I'm going to start decreasing, and I will go back to normal time when it starts asking me to do something a little bit different. So here's the fishy so far. And while I'm not completely done with directions, I'm at a point where it wants me to decrease one more time. And this is how big the hole is. So if the hole gets any smaller, I'm going to have trouble sticking my fingers inside. And I still have to put in the safety eyes. So I went and got the safety eyes, which really small. I'm going to make an assumption about where the fishy eyes will go. So we'll put it here and then hope that it goes through. It would have been easier if I did this earlier on, but so see, we got a little eye there. Ooh, that looks perfect. I thought I dropped this somewhere, but turns out it found itself. That's kind of why there was like a huge gap in, well, it seems like a huge gap to me. I'm going to speed it up. I may not seem it. And now I'm trying to do something without looking at it, which is very, very difficult, but there you go. Oh, it's funny. I'm putting the eyes in without looking at it. Okay. Oh, that's really sunk in now. Oh my gosh. And now we try to make it even on the other side. Also, this is a good time to stuff it. It did not say anything about putting the eyes in now. But it does tell me to finish stuffing it. It told me to start stuffing it back in row 7, back when I started the thing. I did not follow that instruction. I'm going to follow that instruction now. And I should probably use my index finger because I don't think this is longer than my thumb. Yeah. I would say don't mind me, I'm just rambling, but hey, you're watching a YouTube video. You're choosing to listen to me right now. Thank you. Oh my gosh. The other safety eye is getting in the way. And it's like, no. There you go. It's connected. Oh my gosh. It can go another. Ow! Don't hurt my thumb like that. Forgive me as I hold this off screen. There we go. It is in. The eyes are in. And I better like the placement because that's where they're staying. And now reach back into the 20-pound box that is sitting right behind me. Although it now contains less than 20 pounds. Because I've been using it. But the overwhelming majority of the stuffing is still there. And we fill the little fishy. It's strange, like fish have what's called fish bladders, and that's what causes them to float. Meanwhile, human bladders just contain the pee until it leaves our body. Anyway, I'm sure you absolutely wanted to know that little piece of information today. And the stitch marker fell off, so I just gotta be careful with the stitch. See, part of we have to loosen the fluff so you don't have parts like that inside of it because you don't want to feel that. It's like when the fluff looks like that, it gets hard. And you don't want to lie on hard fluff. The whole point of this is it's supposed to be soft and cuddly. Although I do tend to overstuff a little bit. Although if I put this on my head, it's kind of like old person hair, yeah. Maybe not. Not entirely for me, because even if my hair turned gray, it would still be this texture. hair is actually gray right now at the moment because it was pink, but a lot of the pink has washed out and has faded, and it turns out pink, when it's faded, becomes kind of a gray color. It's kind of nice. There we go. Ooh, and now there's like fluff all over the book. It's really weird, like, this is the first time I'm seeing the purple fade like this. Like, I've had the purple fade before, but it was mixed with the blue, and the blue automatically, like, evenly fades out the green, while the purple here, it's just, like, fading on top, but it's not really fading on the sides, and it's interesting. It's really interesting to see how the color fades. Makes the hair a little bit more dynamic. All right, so now... Oh, I want to put the stitch marker back in so I don't lose track, because I know myself. I will get to talking and I will lose track of where I'm at. There you go. Oh, the yarn is squealing. Why is the yarn squealing? There we go. Anyway, I've got like 4 more rows before we got to follow an instruction. So I will come back when it's time to do the thing that I've never done before. Okay, so I finished up to the point where I've gotten the main part of the body done. And I'm now looking at the paragraph that's below it. I think I finally understand what it says. So, the first sentence was easy. Is finite di imbattere y chiudere el giro con un MBSS. Which is finish stuffing and close it, which it was that thing. It's like, I don't know what it was. It's a slip stitch. It wants me to finish it with a slip stitch. Sometimes it takes me a couple passes to get it. I'm a very intelligent person, but sometimes it takes me a couple times. And then there was this other sentence. I was like, what the hell is this? But it's lasciate la gugliata lunga non chiudere adesso il lavoro perché dovete prima inserire la coda. So it's something like, oh, I get it now. Okay. So the way that I was interpreting these instructions was that I was just going to crochet the tail, because la coda is the tail. Yeah. And I thought I was just going to crochet the tail on, but it's like, no, you're going to crochet the tail separately, and then you're going to sew it on. So cut a long string in order to sew the tail onto it later. Because I'm looking at the picture here, and the tail is flat, which that effect could also have been done by just starting to crochet onto, like, just crocheting it shut, yeah, but we're going to follow the instructions. We're going to be good today. We're going to follow the instructions and do what it tells me to do. Except for the next sentence. The next sentence is inserite invece gli occhi tra I giri 5 and 6 della testa, which basically translates to insert the safety eyes between rounds 5 and 6 of the head. It's telling me to insert the safety eyes after I stuff it, which means if I actually look at the picture of the safety eyes here, this only contains half the safety eyes. This is only the front half. It doesn't contain the part that seals it in the back and actually makes it safe. So I'm glad I followed my instincts on that one and put the safety eyes in properly. So my safety eyes are safe. The ones in the book are not, but mine are. And I know this is a very insignificant hill to die on, but I will die on that hill. Anyway, I'm going to leave a long tail for sewing. That should be long enough. And I'm going to fasten it off with a slip stitch. Boom. It's good. Which I'm actually surprised it didn't go like, hey. Like, oh. Yeah, because it's right at the bottom here. I could still go like, hey, just boop. Oh, wait. No, it isn't right at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, because it is still like spiraling around. Anyway. So this looks like it's going to be interesting with the tail. I'm going to attempt to work on it, even though I have a suspicion I might be too tired and might mess this up, but we'll try it anyway. So it's like con la arancione, con the orange, avviate 8 catenelle. So let's chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Lavorate single crochet nella second cat dal rosetto. So in the second chain from the hook, and do 5 more continuing. Okay. So let's do the 1. And then we do 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it wants me to chain another 5 from here. Continuando dall'altro lato della catenella lavorate 5 MB 1 cat. Huh. Interesting. So it wants me to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The question is, like, what direction is this going in? I don't understand. Oh, maybe it's like this. Okay. Continuing on the other side of the chain. Maybe it's continuing on the other side of the chain. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then it wants me to chain 1. Then girare al lavoro. I don't get it. I don't think I did this right. Because, I mean, it looks like it's supposed to be a V, but this doesn't look the same. Let's try it again. Just all gone. There you go. Let's try it again. We'll chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know I probably didn't hear on the video, but I actually just heard the washer go off, and I'm really surprised that I heard the washer go off because I'm on the 2nd floor and the washer's in the basement. Also, the washer is right under my bed, so I'm surprised it doesn't wake me up more often. All right. Let's try this again. So I've chained the 8. That part I know I'm doing right. And then I chain the 6. I basically chained 6, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it still leaves me with like 1 on the bottom. Then I guess it's like continuing on the other side. Maybe it's like this, so. But if I continue on the other side like that, I mean, I'll get more of the effect, but it doesn't seem like it. I feel like I'm missing a step. Nell'ultima cantonella. Oh, I'm missing a step. Ha 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 ha. I am supposed to put stitches in the last stitch. I have a degree, but I don't necessarily know how to read, apparently. So, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We put 5 stitches in the last stitch. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then it wants me to chain 1 and turn the work. That makes more sense. Okay. Yes. All right, where's my stitch marker thingy? I need to set this up. Okay. I am less confused, which is a good thing. All right. So now I go around to the other side. I do 7. So the way that this works is this is the entire row is this side. It's like a Mobius strip. Barely, but like one. So now I do 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 3 stitches in the base. I guess the base is where it turns around, so it's 1, 2, 3. All right. I see how this is now. This just increases every time. Cool. All right. So now that I got it, I'm going to come back when the tail is finished. I finished the tail. It is looking a lot closer to how it looks in the book. Yeah. So, there's a paragraph underneath that says, Chiudete el giro y nascondete la coda del filo tra de maglia del lavoro. I'm guessing that means to weave in the end, which I already did. And then inserte la coda all'intorno del parte finale de pesche. So basically it's telling me sew it in. So I will do that a little bit later. I kind of want to do all the sewing stuff at once. I don't necessarily want to sew and then crochet and sew and then crochet. I'm not really a big fan of doing that. So the last part of the fish are the little side fins, the pinne laterale. And I know it's fins because next to it says 2. So literally just 2 rows. Pretty simple. So I think I'm just going to make one on screen, and then after that it will be I'll make the other one off screen, and then it'll be fishy reveal time. So it wants me to chain 8. So I think this is going to be made like very similarly to the tail, just less because it looks like it's smaller in the picture. Which, in this case, wow, this is going really quickly. Like, this was not much of a challenge at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Although, to be fair, I am not doing the last thing, but it's basically a blue boob. I can make a blue boob. But I don't feel like making a blue boob. Okay. It's a good thing I am off tonight. It's a good thing I'm not at work. Oh my gosh. Because if I was this insane at work, it'd be like, Becky, what are you doing? Although my bosses have told me sanity is not needed for the doc, but let's see. So make 1 stitch in the second one from the hook and make 5. Okay. Just like before. So basically 6. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 5 in the last chain, so 1, 2, which is a lot of stitches to put into 1 stitch. 3, 4, 5. Yep. And then do 5 on the other side and then 1 chain, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. do the chain. And then on the other side, yeah, this is basically just only the first 2 rows of the tail. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only thing is to not get so excited that I go too tight. Although I should allow myself to get excited. It's good to get excited. And 3 here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Oh, and then here I leave a long bit of yarn so I can sew it on. So nice. So, long yarn. That was supposed to be smooth, just yeah. So I just gotta weave in this end here so that way it looks nice. There you go. There you go. Nice little fin. So I'm gonna make one more fin, and the next time you see the fishy, it's gonna be done. El pesciolino es finito. Ooh. Okay, I'll actually pull it back, but it's done. Look at this baby here. Oh my gosh, so cute. And it does rest in the palm of my hand. It doesn't quite fit in my hand, but nice, little, and adorable. And if you ignore the stand at the bottom of the picture, I got pretty close, huh? And I mean, once I was able to figure out how the fins worked, pretty clever. It's like a nice, well-written pattern. My only complaint I have already made, which is about the safety eyes. But yeah, this went a lot faster than I was expecting, which I guess is a good thing that I plan on making more patterns from this book. Not necessarily for this video series, but you'll see them popping up in the future. It's like little cute little guy who I just have to give it a name. I don't know what to name it yet. I'll come up with a name later. How about that? I mean, I'm not going to name it Nemo. It's going to have a more original name than Nemo. Maybe Captain. I don't know. Or, ooh, could call it Leagues. Because there's a Captain Nemo in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which Jules Verne writes the most exasperating main characters. Basically, his main characters are so stubborn, they insist on doing things one way. And even if they know they're messing up, they don't change pace. And Captain Nemo follows that. Okay. Yeah, just cute little fishy. I mean, even with that on the bottom, like I'm not even bothered because I mean the fish is going to be sitting like this most of the time. I was a little bit too tight on the tail fin because it doesn't like to lie flat. It prefers to go like that, but I'll live with that. But yeah, that was today's video. Have a nice day. Ciao.